How do provincial registrations (EPR) work? When a US company first sets up in Canada, it quickly discovers that incorporation is only half the story. The other half is provincial registration, often called Extra-Provincial registration or simply EPR. Even if you form a Canadian corporation federally or in one province, you still have to deal with the provinces where you actually operate. That is what EPR is about. Think of EPR as the province's way of saying, if you are doing real business on our turf, we want you on our books. It does not usually create a new legal entity. Instead, it recognizes your existing corporation and authorizes it to carry on business in that province. When EPR becomes necessary, provincial corporate statutes spell out when a foreign or out-of-province company is considered to be carrying on business. Common triggers include maintaining an office or warehouse, having employees based there, owning or leasing property, or having a permanent establishment whose activities are more than incidental. For a US business, the moment you sign an office lease or hire your first employee in a province, you should assume EPR is on the table. Selling remotely into a province without any physical presence is less likely to require EPR, although each statute is a bit different. The safer assumption is that once your presence is more than occasional visits, you should check that province's rules. EPR is not the same as incorporation. Extra-provincial registration does not create a new corporation. If your operating entity is a US corporation or a Canadian company incorporated elsewhere, that entity remains the legal contracting party. The province simply records that corporation in its registry and gives it a number or registration certificate. This is important because the same board of directors, share structure, and minute book still govern the company. You are not suddenly running a second legal entity with separate shareholders. You are just giving the province a way to identify and regulate you. What the EPR process usually involves. The mechanics vary by province, but the pattern is similar. You provide basic corporate information such as the full legal name, jurisdiction of incorporation, head office address, and details of directors and officers. You appoint an agent for service or registered office in the province so that lawsuits and official notices have a local address to go to. You often need a name search report or proof that your corporate name is available in that province or that you are using an acceptable business name. Once the registration is approved, you receive an extra-provincial registration number or certificate. From then on, you are expected to keep corporate information up to date and file any required annual returns with that provincial registry, in addition to your main jurisdiction. How EPR interacts with tax accounts. EPR sits alongside, not instead of, tax registrations. The province's corporate registry deals with your legal right to carry on business. Tax authorities, both federal and provincial, care about whether you have income, sales, or payroll sourced in that province. In practice, the same facts that trigger EPR often trigger tax accounts. A warehouse and employees in a province usually mean you need GST or HST registration, provincial payroll accounts, and possibly provincial corporate or sales tax registrations. But these are parallel registrations in different systems, not one single step. Consequences of skipping EPR. If you carry on business in a province without extra-provincial registration, several problems can show up. The registry can impose penalties or late fees once they catch up. In some regions, a corporation that is not properly registered may be restricted from starting a lawsuit in that province's courts until the registration is fixed and penalties are paid. From a commercial perspective, many landlords, banks, and large customers will check the corporate registry before signing contracts. If they cannot find you, it raises questions about your compliance and can delay deals. How EPR fits into a multi-province strategy. For a US company expanding across Canada, it can be helpful to think in layers. First, choose your home jurisdiction for incorporation, federal or provincial. Then, as your footprint expands, register that same entity extra-provincially in each province where you add offices, staff, or other meaningful presence. The reality for a national business is that you may end up with several EPRs under the same corporate name. The good news is that once you understand the pattern in one province, the others feel familiar. The forms look different, but the core asks are the same. Who are you? Where are you from? Who can we serve documents on locally? And are you keeping your information current? Final thoughts. Provincial registration is not an exotic legal trap. It is simply the way each province keeps track of corporations doing real business within its borders. If your US company or Canadian entity is hiring, leasing, or building a recurring footprint in a province, you should assume EPR is part of the setup checklist. Handled early, extra-provincial registration is a modest administrative step. Ignored, it can become a stumbling block for contracts, banking, and litigation. If you want a clearer roadmap for which provinces you need to register based on your actual expansion plan, you can explore our website for jurisdiction-by-jurisdiction guides. If you require assistance with Canadian tax matters, our team is ready to provide reliable professional support. Please contact us at 416-283-8774 or visit theaccountingandtax.com for more information. And if you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share.